Right. Today on Guitar Gear One, we have the great pleasure of sitting down with Sammy Boller. He's a very accomplished guitar player and columnist, and I thought we'd do something a little different today. I wanted to ask you more about who you are, kind of what all this means to you, so to speak. So I did read you're from Detroit, but were you kind of in the city, sort of more removed? Did you feel like you lived in Detroit, or did you feel like a suburb kid?
More of a suburb kid, I guess. I grew up in a town called Farmington Hills. It's about, I don't know, 15 minutes outside of Detroit. But the musical kind of DNA of Detroit goes all around, so I definitely felt like I grew up in Detroit, just being around all the different musicians and all that, for sure.
What was the vibe like at the time? Like musically, was hip hop kind of coming in?
It was when Eminem was in his peak when I was a kid. So yeah, like 8 Mile is a big thing in Detroit. A friend of mine, his uncle actually produced the soundtrack of that. Like the guy, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
How funny, man.
So I love that movie, but yeah, when I started playing in bands and stuff, it was kind of changing a little bit, I guess. But yeah, there's all types of music in Detroit even now, right?
Well, of course, yeah. So like just to get a sense of you, like what kind of a kid were you? Like you don't strike me as the kind of guy that like snuck out to eat mushrooms and stuff like that.
But not until later in life. No, I'm just
Fist fighter, stuff like that.
No, I'm more of a hippie than anything. I guess.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I was pretty obsessed with guitar like from early on. So when you get like that at a young age, it's like your whole life kind of becomes playing guitar. So a lot of hours in the bedroom kind of thing. My friends calling me up going, hey man, let's hang out. No, I got to practice,
Were you ever drawn to sports, or was guitar kind of your sport?
Once I started playing guitar, that was kind of it. So I started when I was 11. So before that, I was more into like typical kid stuff,
right,
games and all that. But yeah, once I picked up the guitar, that was kind of it for me. I kind of like knew right away,
So as far as your progression goes, when you started out, did you know you wanted to be a lifer? Did you want to be a career guy? Was there any plan at all?
I definitely knew it's what I wanted to do. I think even before I started playing, actually, like we had guitars around the house. My parents were both musicians. Yeah, like I kept begging my dad, like, hey, please show me something. I really want to learn. He's like, no, you take some time. I was already like playing piano, so they kind of wanted me to focus on that.
Yeah.
But when my dad finally showed me a C chord, that was like the big thing that I was heading off for the races,
Nice, man.
So yeah, I definitely knew it's what I wanted to do pretty early on.
Yeah, man. So were you concerned about finding a way to support yourself in the business, or were you just chasing your heart?
That's definitely, I mean, that's the thing for every musician, like it's not the easiest life as far as all that goes, especially if you want to do original music. But when it's in your heart and it's what you want to do, it's like it's not really a choice. It's like you figure out a way, no matter what, I'm gonna make this work.
Attractive.
So, and that's part of also is figuring out who you are as a musician. I think like kind of like surviving. That's kind of, I think like you got to go all the way with it, to really find out who you are and what you're not as a musician. That's like that's a really big part of I don't know, discovering your sound and what you want to do. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely had some challenges. Like I feel very, very grateful now to where it's like I can support myself playing guitar, playing my own music. But yeah, there was some hard years for sure. I feel like I had to go through,
Absolutely. So kind of in your earlier years, were you like jamming with kids in the neighborhood? Did you meet people at school? Were you isolated?
I started playing with my dad, and I think that was cool because like when you grow up playing with a professional, it's like your level of what you think is normal is different than like just jamming with your buddies.
Yeah.
But after playing for a few years, then I started playing with kids from school and all that. And
did you feel any obligation to be like your father musically?
No, they never pressured me at all. But they're very supportive, and it really helps having I'm really grateful to have supportive parents, especially early on. But yeah, I think I feel really blessed to have like musical parents and
absolutely, man. So like, I grew up in Wisconsin, so like we could joke and say I was on the other side of the pond.
That's very close, yeah.
Yeah, so like my dad owned a guitar store when I was a kid.
Oh,
and actually, he was an ESP dealer. Metallica happened. It was a really wild thing, but like metal was kind of not super cool to the adults in my life. So like I heard before, I know you're into Van Halen and it's when you were young and things like that. Were your parents encouraging of metal, or were you kind of steered away from that?
They liked it. No, it was cool. My parents are into all kinds of music. Yeah, no. But my dad's a Van Halen guy.
So. Okay. So there's no jump there.
Oh yeah. I feel no, they're always whatever I liked. They like, right. They were cool with it.
So did your dad have gear that you like to play?
He had mostly acoustic guitars, right? But they were supportive and helped me getting like fights. You know, as I was progressing on guitar, they were supportive, going, "Hey, if you really need this, we'll help you."
Right.
That was amazing. I feel, I feel really lucky to have that back today.
So, like, not to just like blast over it and stuff like that, but like with Citizen Zero, kind of your first like real professional launching point of view.
Yeah, for sure. They were, when I joined that band, they were already working with like a pretty big producer around Detroit.
Right.
And, that was like my first time writing original music and recording an album, being in the studio. So yeah, it was a great experience, man. I feel like I learned a lot from being a band member, so as everybody does, you know.
Well, and I know there was a really tragic change in that band.
Right.
Did they kind of court you, or did you reach out to them, or kind of how did that come together?
They found me online. Like our manager at the time hit me up on Facebook. Cool. I was planning on moving to Boston, but once I checked out their stuff, I was like, you know, I'll give this a shot. I'll check them out.
Right on.
When we started jamming, it was like really instant and active.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, it was great, man. I still play with the drummer John and stuff like that.
Yeah. I saw that on your solo stuff.
Yep.
So you found a band, you kind of started stepping into the professionist shoes. When did you start writing for Guitar World or for Guitar World, I suppose?
When I joined Citizen, I would say. As far as like original music, you know, I'd always come up with riffs and stuff, but as far as like taking it seriously, probably like
But like as a columnist, like as a part of a journalist perspective.
like around that time, the original like head of Guitar World is from Detroit, believe it or not. His dad's Brad Zielinski, and his brother used to come see Citizen Zero all the time. Still just like a local band. So he's the one who kind of hooked me up with Brad today. He's just, you know, check this guy out. So that's all that happened. But I'd say I was like 19 or 20 when I started doing that call. It was cool. It was basically like whatever I was working on, I just kind of like put it online so other people just check it out too.
So how did you get hooked up writing? Like how did that happen?
I think as far as like writing the articles and all that, it was just more like explaining the lessons. It's a pretty natural thing. Like I've thought for a long time, so it was cool kind of being able to like consolidate some of my ideas to like more like a journalistic type thing. Yeah, I've always liked writing.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool.
So like to just kind of paint a picture, so you got into a band, started writing professionally as well.
Yep.
You link up with Dave Friedman.
Yeah, Dave's great. Dave's the shit. Dave is from Detroit as well. That's
right.
I have.
Right, for sure. It's just kind of why I brought you the heritage guitar. So you're like, this is like a fun thing. But
That's
like,
awesome.
So, so at that point, and I've been wondering this for a bit. Did you start to like see yourself as like a quote unquote industry guy, or like where were you kind of feeling yourself through?
It's interesting. I've never thought of myself as an industry guy. So, my dream was always like to write my own music and be able to tour and perform, you know.
Yeah, man.
So I think as far as like getting my first chance to do that, it was with Citizen Zero.
Yeah, man.
Like we were kind of like a local band for a long time, and we finally got a record deal.
Yeah.
So when you get to go through that as a young kid, it's like you learn so much so fast. It was like kind of a really amazing thing. But I feel lucky to have gone through that, because now that I'm doing my own stuff, it's like you learn what to do and what not to do from learning how to tour and what, you know, so on and so forth. So that's always kind of been my dream, though, is to write my own music and play live, you know.
So one thing I've noticed is a lot of people seem to talk to you about kind of like the obvious gimmies, Van Halen, Brady Rhodes, things like that. I don't hear a lick of that in your playing. I don't hear any.
Thanks, man.
So the thing is, like, the band Minus the Bear, I don't know if you know.
I do like them. Yeah.
They knocked me out when I was 20 years old. I started hearing Dave Knudsen writing these beautiful two-handed passages.
He's amazing.
And that just started to really open me up. And then I was going to ask you, do you remember where you were the first time you heard Drifting by Andy McKee?
See, that's awesome, man, because he's a huge influence of mine. Yeah.
There we go.
And Andy McKee, that was like mind-blowing at the time when that came out.
Dad, right? Dad, yeah. So like,
and that's kind of how I.
My hair's going up, man. I keep talking about this.
Yep. That's one thing that a lot of people don't notice that, but I was a huge fan of all that Candy Rest stuff.
Right.
But that was like a big YouTube thing when I was a kid. So I remember when I first started getting into that, it was like, that was like really cutting edge guitar at the time, especially on a acoustic guitar.
It still is.
It still is, yeah, exactly.
So, you know, that's like the second song you ever wrote.
Isn't that crazy? There's so many guys like that, man. Like Mark Barner from Grand Punk Railroad, the first song you ever wrote was Heartbreaker. You know, it's like That's they say every journey begins with beginner's luck. Not mistake.
Maybe. I really think a lot of guys just either come out of the box too thick or it doesn't amp. I don't think you can learn to be something.
There's something to that. You might got something there, yeah. But you can hone your skills somewhat. But I think definitely like you have to have it inside you first, you know. And if it's inside, sometimes it's just wait to jump out, you know.
So like, there was a lot of underground hardcore music in the Chicago area when I was coming up.
Right.
So like, to just name a couple, like Between the Buried and Me was crazy heavy at the time. Like that songs like Mordecai at the time that way more spastic, if you will, and less kind of melodious.
Right.
And as time went on, they really started to kind of open up. They did Alaska, foods like that. And so like, I feel like there's a disconnect right now kind of in the community where like there was so much that happened in such a short period of time that you could like really change songwriting, how people thought about their bands.
Right.
And I wanted a chance to talk with you because like, I was kind of wondering like what you were listening to when nobody else was around. Like what was really keeping your attention? And
you know, when I was like more like a teenager or now or a little bit of everything.
Everything in between you being born and when you wrote Ritual Lights. Kind of what I'm asking.
Oh, that's really sweet, man.
Yeah, what was the melding?
Okay. I mean, when I first started, it was definitely like Van Halen, Guns N' Roses, Ozzy. That's how I learned to play guitar.
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to play all that shit, how those songs work. When I started writing music, like the band I was in was more like mainstream rock, I would say, as opposed to like old school, somewhat old school, but a little bit more mainstream. So I started getting more into like Dem Cab and Kings of Leon.
Absolutely. What's in that the first record? Like how far back? Just curious.
All the way for Kings of Leon. Yep, yeah. Those are the two in best.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
More like alternative rock. You know, I think for that era, that's some of the best music for that era. It's like the alternative rock that came out around that time.
And I want to hammer on it, but like, we're here tonight and this could be several other bands playing.
Right.
But I think one of the most identifiable parts of your playing is you play to the song, so to speak. Like, you're actually expressing yourself, and it doesn't seem like you're assembling a song.
Oh, thank you, man.
Oh, nice. I got something I'm going to put myself on Front Street in a second here, big time.
Fine, thank you, man.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do that right now. Like, and the internet can hate me. That's fine. Look, every once in a while, something stops me dead in my tracks. I mean, just like, I have to sit down and think about it.
Oh, nice.
So I came home about a year ago, whatever it was. We're going through a lot of rough stuff. I was in a car accident. It doesn't matter. I had moved to Washington. Moved to Washington. I didn't know anybody. I was wondering what the hell I'm doing. I'm flipping through Facebook, and I see this kid I'd never seen before, with a Friedman amp behind him, this black Les Paul Custom. And at the time, I was hunting down a black Les Paul Custom because I wanted to be Mastodon for 5 minutes.
So did I.
No shit. Oh my God. I heard Steam Breather, and I'm like, all right, fine. I'm buying a fucking black Les Paul. I'm doing the whole thing.
That's awesome, man.
So dude, this is the truth. I started playing Ritual Lights. And what hit me immediately was your body length. It wasn't just the sound of it or the feel of it. It was the whole goddamn thing. Like, I was literally like, this guy looks how I feel all the time.
That's really sweet.
And then the worst thing in the world happened. About 38 seconds into that song, I started with the double stops.
Yeah.
I have fucking sat so many people down, and I'm like, watch this guy work around that B string half step. Like, I can't even handle this. And so what happened is I sat down, started playing this video. I got like 50 seconds in, rewound it. You got like 20 seconds in, rewound it.
Oh, that's so nice, man.
And what I've noticed is, I was just doing it while you were sound checking. Like, when people are playing instrumental music, I don't even mean to do it, and I'm not a singer. I just kind of start writing lyrics in my head.
That's awesome.
I started crying. I'm listening to Ritual Lights, dude, and the next thing I know, I had tears running down my face. And I'm not even fucking joking. Like when Misa wrote All New Materials, I don't know if you know that song, it doesn't really matter, but it was like one of the last times I heard chord structures I had never heard assembled before, with cadences I'd never heard. So I was like, this is brand new. It's never happened before. And I was just, I'm like, my hair's gone up right now again. And like, I had to meet you. I had to tell you this stuff.
That's so nice. Thank you so much. That's really.
So I was kind of wondering, because again, like I did hear about you like pouring cranks and Nam, and you're kind of doing a lot of different stuff. You're playing in a few bands, lots going on. Where are you going? Where are you heading? What do you want?
Well, first of all, thank you. That's so nice. That means the world to hear something like that. Like, I think when I write music, like I try to do it very selflessly. If that makes sense. The more selfless you are when you write a song, I think, the more chance it has of touching other people.
What are you rooting to when you're in that place?
It depends whatever's going on in my life, I guess. Like I try to. It depends. Every song is a little bit different, but to hear you say like that, it really moves you like that. That means thank you. What was the question? Where do I see myself going?
So like, some people are like, I want to write a concept record.
Right.
I want something like, you know, whatever it is. I want to do a song with Ozzy, like whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like you got that white whale out there.
I mean, what I'm working on right now, I guess, is I'm doing another guitar album. So I'm working with a couple different people on that right now. So when we get up on this tour, I'm going to record the rest of it. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I've been trying some new stuff out. So I was writing it during COVID, the second like this middle album, but it was sounding basically like my first album, part 2. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. So I'm trying.
So like, but everybody does that. So like Adam Jones from Tool, like there's shit from high school. I'm the newest rapper.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us do that. You know what? This is a weird one. So like, I don't know if that's too much. He's like, so like if I play blues gigs like back to back to back to back, like at some point you almost feel like a wire. Like you feel like you know what your bag of tricks is. You know like what blows people's minds. But at some point it starts to feel like you've done it a lot.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So are you kind of feeling that from that record to that record? Not in an accusatory way, but
No, I love playing all that stuff. But yeah, man, for me it's like I don't know. I never like to repeat myself, you know.
Right.
So I definitely like I'm working with a different producer. Like all the stuff I've ever recorded, I've done with like my best friend Stu.
Yeah, man.
So he's gonna be working on it too. But I'm working with a producer named Nick Sampson. He's the guy who's done like all the Polyphia stuff. It's pretty stuff.
Okay.
He lives in Michigan as well, which is convenient.
Yeah, man.
I've been kind of like bouncing ideas off him, and he's like a real metalhead, so it's turning out a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
I like writing collaboratively too. So I think it's we're working on it together at Floated Collaborative this time. So I'm definitely excited about that. That'll be on hopefully early next year.
So like, do you have any interest at all, or do you noodle in your own like privacy with like 7 or 8 strings? Ready?
I have an 8-string.
You do?
Yeah, there's a lot of 8-string on some of the stuff on the first album. It's just for like the rhythm parts.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a bit too intimidated to play a lot, but maybe one day, maybe on the next record.
I call mine the ironing board. You know,
It looks like a fucking iron.
Yeah, but absolutely.
It's cool though. I like 8-string.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm working on that. Then I have a new band called Barrows I'm working on as well.
Yeah.
So we're working on 2 albums right now. So
dude.
hopefully that'll take up most of the next year. That's as far as I don't like to look too far ahead. I usually try to just do one.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna work it. It's great, dude. Just goofy stuff. Do you listen to any music that would surprise people that like you love?
That I love?
Yeah, like guilty pleasures or like.
I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. One of my favorite fucking albums is Bad Out of Hell, Beat Love.
Right on, dude.
I fucking love this. I fucking love that album.
Yeah, man.
And Jimmy, my bass player, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
But as far as like new stuff, I like a lot of like indie singer songwriter. That's how I mainly listen to it.
Yeah, I totally believe that.
I love fucking bashing away. I'm a metalhead for sure, but it's good to be able to. You can't always be bashing away. Hey, you know.
I know. I was just telling somebody on the way down, like I can listen to Slayer for 10 minutes at a time. Like I need to reprieve somewhere.
You need to, yeah, you have.
So like on the far end, like what's like kind of the heaviest stuff you've reached for?
Heaviest? Good question. Nothing too extreme. I mean, I love like fucking Mastodon.
Yeah. But it's got to be kind of group oriented.
So I'm not so into like super progressive stuff. I like it. Like on like Quit Freak Me Out, shit like that, I was way into it. Nameless Leader, so yeah.
Right.
As far as like the extreme metal, I wouldn't say I turn it on necessarily, but I like it. Like I really love it. I appreciate the musicianship, you know.
Do you gravitate towards like odd meters and kind of more experimental composition?
I would say not as much as like some people I've talked to this, I think so, but not a ton. I'm more like 4/4 bass.
Right.
But I do like I fucking it up sometimes. But like you can do like polyrhythm and stuff just by saying in 4/4.
I had talked to Lee about this at Born of Osiris years ago, and what I explained to him was, it's like, you did a great job of writing songs in 4/4 that feel incredibly.
A lot of the Animals as Leo stuff is like that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody that music is my sports. You know what I mean? I love picking people apart.
Right.
It's like I noticed forever ago, like Tosin seems to basically play a 7-string standard guitar with a low string possibility. I just kind of noticed it seems to like really make a ton of use of the inner.
He likes the 7, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Sticking around there. Yeah, Tosin's amazing, man. He's definitely one of my favorite, like, more modern guitar players, for sure.
So, like, you know, and if you get really analytical and kind of into the theory side, like as a musician, you might know you're just doing like octave tricks, like da 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 da. You know what I mean? And you kind of feel like you're bullshitting. And so, like, I'm so interested in the guys that can actually sit down and express themselves. And again, that's why I wanted to talk to you, because I think like you're the most promising guy in the game.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice.
I'm eager to see what you do, and I don't feel that way.
Generally speaking, it's
so refreshing.
as sweaty as it is in this space.
Oh, no.
So refreshing.
I appreciate it.
So, no, it's
really
pleasure.
You're so sweet, man.
Thanks for coming down. I hope you're
Do the show. It's a little
Thank you.
doctor.
Thank you.
Gonna be a blast. Thank you, Toss. Serious. It was great. We did it.